This is MLB Talk 123. I'm a St. Louis Cardinal fan along with millions of others. Just one fan. This 2011 World Series has changed my view on a lot of things. Look at all these fans. Before this postseason, I didn't know how many Cardinal fans could fit in one city. I didn't know there were so many Cardinal fans. And I didn't know I wouldn't be afraid running around half naked at night in the parking lot of Lowe's celebrating Game 6 of the World Series walk-off victory. Listen to those screaming fans. Who are they screaming for? You see the Clydesdales are back, and Tony La Russa is back. He reinvented himself after being called an angry old man over the season, complaining about things. Not many players liked him on other teams, but these fans sure love him, as he performed great during the postseason, reworking his bullpen, doing things that no manager has ever done. Third most winningest manager in history. He had a lot of support behind him. The DeWitt family, the owner of the St. Louis Cardinals, yeah, they've missed out on a few free agents, but right now they are holding the mother load, and that's all that matters. Listen to these Cardinal fans. They roar for players like Red Shandy's, passed through the Cardinals organization, brought up, winning championships, providing legendary historic play. This Cardinals organization is so rooted deeply with those type of players. Lou Brock. I mean, the Cubs could have had him. He could have stole all those bases. He could have hit 3,000 hits for the Cubs, but the Cardinals have him. Let's look at the team here. Mark Zubchinski, 25 years old, coming from Toronto in the trade. A few months later, he's winning the World Series in St. Louis. And what about Lance Berkman? He was a season hero and a postseason hero. Signing on a one-year, $8 million deal, many people doubted it, but he performed better than expected. The Cardinals were handed terrible news from spring training as we found out Adam Wainwright, 20-game winner, Cy Young candidate, will miss a whole year. There was a lot of doubt headed into 2011. Players had to step up. Players like John Jay, who had very little playing time, to an everyday player after the Colby Rasmus trade. You'll hear chants very soon. Yadi, Yadi. You may remember him from the 2006 playoffs, or just see him as an everyday catcher for the Cardinals. The facts are, he is so important to the pitching staff and has had the best offensive year of his career in 2011. Showing a lot of power, coming up in clutch situations, and I mean, just look at him. It's Yadier Molina. Then you look at the man behind the wheel, John Mozeliak, GM of the St. Louis Cardinals. He made a very highly criticized trade involving Colby Rasmus for some veteran starting pitching, some relief help, and some draft picks later on. He also acquired Rafael Furcal and signed Arthur Rhodes. Without those deals, the Cardinals would not have won the World Series. Not even close. Those additions for the bullpen, starting pitching, and infield helped the Cardinals go well on their way to their 11th World Series title. With a lot of help from this guy, David Freese, postseason hero, hometown kid. He is a king of this town now, MVP of the 2011 World Series. He did amazing things, and a lot of credit should go to Mark McGwire, who led the National League's best hitting team this year. Now what about pitching? Chris Carpenter logged more innings than any National League starter this year. He was a workhorse, and that didn't change in the playoffs. He started games 1 and 5 of the NLDS and shut out Roy Halladay and the Phillies to get in the NLCS. And he started 3 games in the World Series, including Game 7. He was one of many Cardinal postseason heroes, and he had a very memorable 2011 season. Now here is the true king of St. Louis, or he was. At the time, we wanted Albert back so bad no matter what. He has provided 11 of the most historic seasons ever, the most consistent seasons. He's broke so many records, and he's done it all with St. Louis. He's always been a Cardinal, and hopefully he always would have been. Signed a 10-year deal with the Angels, and that's that. He's gone. Now Matt Halladay, their cleanup hitter, number 4 hitter right behind Albert, or was right behind Albert, signed a record extension for the franchise after 2009 season, but had a lot of fluke injuries this year, and he was hurt most of the postseason and really put up great numbers. You look at Daniel Descalso. He came through as a defensive replacement for David Freese in late innings and came through in the clutch. Remember who led off that 9th inning in Game 6? Led it off with a single, got it all started. Look at Kyle Loesch, who had a bounce-back year after having a fantastic year in 2008, signing a 4-year deal And he's been hurt for the last 2 seasons. He came back and won 14 games for the team. How about Edwin Jackson? They acquired him in a trade, and he pitched very solid, filling that number 5 spot, pushing Cal McClellan to the bullpen. He really did a great job and pitched really well for the Cardinals, and he ended up being a great addition. You look at Alan Craig, Torty the Tortoise. He brought this team a lot of personality and a lot of power. Dotel, he has a great personality, a spark plug, fun to watch pitched great in the 8th inning. He was a solid 8th inning closer for the St. Louis Cardinals after this trade happened. You look at Jason Mott, who had the best year of his career pitching-wise. Was not officially named the closer, but he's the closer. He saved 8 games at the end, and he saved every possible game in the postseason except he blew 1 World Series game. He pitched great. Reminds me a little bit of Bruce Sutter. Not as big as Beard. Hopefully he'll grow it out more. He could be this year's Brian Wilson. He has an electric fastball. He's great with the fans, and he's fun to watch. Look at everything that happened to this city in this past month. Look at the Cardinals' downfall in August. Look at all the injuries. Albert Pujols, Adam Wainwright. Pretty much everyone on the roster got hurt at one time or another. And this team kept fighting. This team was so versatile and so deep that they used players like Alan Craig. John Jay stepped up. Daniel Descalso. Tony Cruz. I mean, there are so many. Too many to even count. Who stepped up when they needed to. This team has endured so many injuries, so many disappointments, and now Albert's gone, and it's going to be a lot different next year. Now, hopefully all these fans come back and support this team no matter what, as we just signed Carlos Beltran, probably be looking in the market to trade Kyle Loach or Jake Westbrook, release some salary. You know, again, I'm just one fan out of hundreds of thousands and millions of fans. This one World Series can mean so much and change so many lives of people. Look at the spirit of the city of St. Louis.